Hello, I'm Doug McKenna, a doctoral student in the higher education program, and I am proposing a phenomenological research study to explore students' perceptions of multi-year academic plans in partial fulfillment of the requirements of Educational Research 810 with Dr. Kristen Kugel. The United States is facing a retention challenge within higher education. Close to 1/4 of students who enroll as freshmen at public doctoral granting institutions do not return for their sophomore year, and only 48% of students complete their degree within 5 years. Operating within existing theories of student persistence, primarily from Tinto and Spady, this study seeks to explore the ways that students perceive a multi-year academic plan as part of their academic integration to their institution. Over the next several minutes, I will articulate the research question, frame the question within existing theory, and describe the proposed methods, participants, procedures, data collection and analysis, and ethical considerations of this research project. You might be asking yourself, what is a multi-year academic plan? And that's a very good question. For the purposes of this research project, a multi-year academic plan is more than just looking ahead one semester to see what you think looks interesting to register for. It is an electronic artifact, usually associated with a student's degree audit, that allows the student to engage with the complete set of requirements for their selected degree program. This includes identifying all the university level requirements, so general education, the school or department requirements, and the all-important requirements for the major. At its best, a multi-year academic plan gives a student a familiarity with the scope, range, and sequencing of the coursework required to earn their degree. The specific research question I am proposing to investigate relates to the students' perceptions of their academic planning efforts. What do students think about the process of creating a multi-year academic plan? And more broadly, how does the process of creating a multi-year academic plan affect a student's academic integration at an institution? It is a time-consuming effort creating a multi-year plan, and it requires reviewing and understanding the overall curriculum requirements for the program. So the hypothesis is that the engagement required of the student to create a multi-year plan will increase a sense of academic integration and, consequently, increase persistence and retention. I've used the term academic integration a couple of times, and I think it'd be useful to understand the theoretical underpinnings of that term. There are many theories to explore the why and the how of student persistence, but overwhelmingly, those theories are operating within the framework articulated by Tinto way back in 1975. And revisited, revised, and expanded since then. In a Kuhnian way, Tinto's theory is the current paradigm. As a very brief overview, and likely oversimplification for the purposes of brevity, here's Tinto's theory. It starts with the student. As an individual in the world, the student has individual attributes. Those attributes interact with and are shaped by the student's family background, and as it relates to educational persistence, their pre-college schooling. These factors influence two things in relationship to persistence: the student's commitment to achieving an educational goal and the student's commitment to the institution itself as a social entity. The paths diverge here, but keep in mind that this is one individual and that each of these two tracks are highly integrated and interconnected. The first is academic integration. This broadly refers to whether the student is challenged academically, whether the student believes the curriculum to be meaningful and of value, and whether the student is able to succeed academically. The second path is social integration. This is another broad category that refers to the student's peer interactions, interactions with faculty outside of a teaching environment, and generally whether the student identifies with or locates a niche socially at the institution. The level to which a student integrates academically and socially informs and affects, either positively or negatively, those commitments to achieving a degree and to the institution itself. Those factors then determine whether a student decides to continue with their education at that institution. Tinto refers to these as dropout decisions. The focus of this study is on a process related to the student's academic integration, the highlighted part of the model. Restating the research question, what are students' perceptions of their own academic planning? How does the process of creating a multi-year academic plan affect the student's academic integration at an institution? To investigate, I am proposing to conduct a phenomenological research study, inviting returning sophomore students to share their perspectives on the process of creating a multi-year academic plan. This study will take place at a large, public Research One institution located on the East Coast of the United States. According to the Office of Institutional Effectiveness and Planning at the institution, it enrolls approximately 38,500 students. The 6-year graduation rate is 71.6% as of 2014, which is comparable to institutions of its size and makeup. And the 1-year retention rate is 86% as of 2019. Both are the most recent years those data are available. Purposeful sampling will be used to identify candidates for invitation to participate. This is an important strategy because we need students who have been retained, who persisted from year 1 to year 2, and who created a multi-year academic plan during the course of that first year. From this group of students, a random selection of 100 students will be invited to participate, which will hopefully yield between 15 and 25 participants. One concern with purposeful sampling is that the eventual participants may not reflect the larger institution, and so the results may not be generalizable broadly. Though I hope that capturing students' personal perspectives and experiences will be relatable to other similar students. This type of research design is intended to gain more insight into the particular phenomenon rather than aiming for empirical generalization. The procedures for the study are as follows. Work with university administrators to identify returning sophomore students who have an active multi-year academic plan in the system. 100 students who meet the selection criteria will be emailed an invitation to participate. Non-responders will receive 2 email reminders 5 days apart with a clearly articulated deadline to opt in. Once accepted, students will sign a consent form and fill out a basic demographic questionnaire. Interviews with the researcher will be scheduled and conducted via Zoom, and each interview will last 30 to 45 minutes and will be recorded to assist with transcription and encoding. Once transcribed, the researcher's notes will be shared with the participant for confirmation or clarification to assist with the trustworthiness of the data. Inductive analysis and creative synthesis will be used to identify patterns, themes, and interrelationships within the data as we strive to identify and articulate the essence of the multi-year plan creation process. George Mason University's Institutional Review Board will review the study to ensure it meets the ethical standards for human research. There will be minimal risk to the participants. They've already been retained from year 1 to year 2. The phenomenon that is the focus of the study does not require the disclosure of sensitive information like GPA or grades in specific classes, but instead focuses on the experience of the process of creating a multi-year academic plan. Students will provide consent and will be informed of their ability to drop out of the study at any time. Only the researcher will have access to the individual student's responses. Pseudonyms will be used in reporting to ensure anonymity. Qualitative data management software in Vivo will be used to assist in organizing, managing, and coding the data. Line-by-line coding will be used to identify themes, which can then be used to aggregate response patterns. These response patterns will then be collated with the demographic information to compare themes across demographic groups. Several limitations are apparent with the proposed study. As previously noted, purposeful sampling is not a completely random selection criteria. The individuals who volunteer to participate in the study may all share some other common characteristic that is not reflected in the larger institution's population, and that may affect how they perceive the process of creating a multi-year plan. This is a small sample size study conducted at one institution, and so results may not be generalizable broadly, either within the institution or across higher education. And finally, there's the risk that the students who volunteer to participate will not have engaged fully or meaningfully in the process of creating their plan, and so their perceptions of that process may not reflect the true essence of the phenomenon. This concludes my research proposal. I look forward to your feedback on the discussion board, and please do let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions that might improve the quality of this study. Thank you for listening.